He didn't.
I lost the rating and all that explanation.
This is a 3.5.
I just after like it just seemed like out of the gate you were like, TJ, no, you're wrong. I'm going to tell you how it's so much better than 3.5. And then it's like at the end, 3.5.
Welcome to another episode of Power Bourbon, where three random guys who've been drinking a lot of alcohol tell you what we think about.
Thought we were friends.
Okay, I'll go with friends.
Are we random guys? Is that all we are to you? Is like random guys?
Wow.
To the general public, except for our
so Chuck, do you want to start our own channel as subscribers?
Friends? We are friends with 481 people. If you are not a subscriber, you're a random stranger.
Wow. That's a good way to make people feel welcome. So let's get started. So we are going to review Four Roses, but not just any Four Roses. This is a single barrel proof. These are, at least in my neck of the woods, incredibly hard to come by. In fact, never seen pretty much ever. Like things that you see more where I come from than single roses, single barrel strength are UFOs, Bigfoot, and pretty much that I got a list of two, and that's basically it. So I have a good friend Chuck who actually got me one for Christmas. Thank you, sir. As you can tell, it's about halfway through the year. I'm about halfway through the bottle, so I am hoping for a refill next Christmas. And so we will see how it goes. Fingers crossed. But yeah, these pretty much are invisible where I'm at. But some people are able to find these. And, we did a blind with this and some others. And it definitely enjoyed this. And so we're just going to kind of walk you through this and go, is this, so you can make a good assessment on whether or not this is something you should be hunting and looking for, or whether it's something just if you come across it, you come across it.
But yeah, we'll tell you what we think of this Four Roses barrel strength. What's the recipe, Brian? Because for Four Roses, recipe matters.
Yeah, absolutely. And I was just thinking I need to come back to that. So this is a OBSQ. So the OBSQ recipe, our proof comes in at about 111 proof. It's from Warehouse JE, barrel 15 IH. So if you're hunting those, although this is kind of last year, so you probably won't find this exact one, but you might find something similar.
Yeah. So Four Roses, for those of you that don't know and aren't familiar with, it is a brand that has kind of come back to popularity here in the last 3 to 4 years. They really fell out of favor, and then they kind of shipped all their stuff over to Japan and didn't release anything in the United States at all. So you can get some special Four Roses stuff over there. And they started releasing stuff back in the United States recently with Rutledge, who was the master distiller, the master distiller now is Brent Elliott. And they are well known for the fact that they have 10 different recipes. So they have 2 different mash bills and 5 different yeast strains. So if you're ever lucky enough to do a barrel pick from them, which is what this barrel strength is all barrel strengths are barrel picks. They basically roll out 10 barrels and you get to choose from them. So you've got those 2 different mash bills with the 5 different yeast strains to give you 10 different possible combinations. And depending on who you are, you may favor one recipe over the others.
They definitely, some of that's the mash bill that comes through as far as giving you different flavor profiles. So we know that, right? So a higher rye content is going to give you more of those rye notes, those wintergreen herbal notes. But then also even it's interesting, the yeast strain, how much that makes a difference. So Brian, actually, if you want to read I think they provide a description as far as like some base notes as far as what this recipe in particular kind of brings forward. I believe this is like, more floral, more.
Yeah. So the OBSQ, and if you get one of these, they kind of list all 10 recipes out and just kind of the variations in those. So the OBSQ says it's floral, rose petal specifically, spicy, in a medium body.
So on the nose, I get a ton of floral. Like that is, but to be fair, that's the signature Four Roses. Like all Four Roses stuff is super floral.
Yeah, and this, I mean, obviously, this combination of mash bill and yeast strain are predominantly, or that's what this is bringing forward. So, like some of the like the OESB, TJ, you and I both have a barrel strength pick of that, and that brings a little bit more sweetness.
So on the nose, because we're gonna give our notes and our ratings, I'm gonna go 3.5. Like I think it's very delightful. I think there's a lot of complexity there. There's a little bit of an ethanol burn, but not too much. But there's a lot of like vanilla and then floral notes. So I get a lot of, using the tasting notes, I get rose and other things like that.
I have no idea where you're getting ethanol from at all on this nose.
That's just he's on that tonight.
So I don't know where Chuck's at on that, but I get like.
Go ahead.
I get like 0.013% ethanol on that nose, and that's maybe generous. For me, this nose is like walking through a mountain meadow. Like
you're from Colorado, so you should know.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I also like, to be fair, when he's like the nose and he's like all the way back here. He's not like actually putting his nose in there. I don't get any ethanol.
Exactly.
This is so strong. I mean, I can smell it from here. Like, I don't even need to just like waft it.
You get a lot of, I feel like you get that floral, grassy. I feel like I almost get like a little bit of like pine almost in there with a little bit of pine tree. It's delightful. Great nose here. Now, if you're looking for more on the sweet end of things, I don't think you're going to get that here. If you're like, oh, I need my butterscotch, I need my caramel, I mean my vanilla, like, okay, move on, go somewhere else. But if you can appreciate more of the floral notes, this has a lot to offer in that regard.
Yeah.
What did you rate it?
He did.
I lost the rating and all of that.
Oh,
explanation.
This is a 3.5.
Okay, so it doesn't matter what I said. Well, at this point, it doesn't matter what I say. 3.5. But I agree. I like the herbal and the floral notes. You could even, if you told me it was a rye, I might have believed you. Like that's the kind of herbal notes that kind of comes through for me on the nose. But I do get a little bit of like the more I get that predominantly, and then it comes in with a little bit of vanilla and sweetness on the back end, but it's more subtle.
Yeah. And then on the palate, I get caramel, I get vanilla, I get some spices, maybe a little nutmeg in there. I think it's super complex, delightful, everything like that. Makes me want to have another sip to really analyze what's going on. So I'm going to give it a 4 on the palate. I think it's great.
I'm a 4 as well for all the same reasons.
This is great. I don't even have to be here.
Yeah, you really don't, Charlie. Just peace out, brother. For all the reasons TJ just mentioned, the palate has a lot to offer. It lingers. You have a clear distinction between palate to finish that you can enjoy. Boom, it's 4.
I enjoy the palate. I'd be at a 3.5. It's still very floral forward for me. Floral and spice, and that's just not where it's just a bit too much for me. For me to rate it higher. I mean, I think it's a delightful. I own 2 OBS. Which recipe is this? I own 2 of these recipes.
Yeah.
OBSQ.
Yeah.
And I enjoy them, but I still would probably be at a 3.5. Yeah. A little bit too much rye and floral spice to me. Cool. I'm solid 3.5 on the finish. Like it's a lasting, delightful finish. Those herbal notes continue to go through, but I don't think it sets anything else apart. None of those notes really do anything to separate it.
Yep. On the finish, I'm gonna say it, get some dirty looks. I'm at a 3. Like I think it's good. I think it's delightful, but there's not anything that like super stands out. And if anything, I do get a little bit of ethanol on the finish that kind of brings it down a little bit. So the things that were maybe bringing it up kind of bring it down. I think it's a great finish, but having had a couple other Four Roses barrel strength, this is not the best finish that I've had. So I'm going to go 3.
No, this is a 3.5. 3. I feel like you're doing a disservice to what this finish is. Now, I will say this. This finish isn't my preference. You don't get a lot of oomph on the finish. You get a little bit of a linger. I feel like the floral notes, which I don't typically look for in a finish, carry through into the finish a little bit more. Without
you don't
enough.
Look for in a finish. You love rye, and to me, this is like a rye forward finish.
But it's like a rye without the pepper. Like I get no kick.
I get that. Yeah.
Like I get no kick on this finish. Like I get the floral, which I appreciate, but then give me a little oomph. Let me know that you're there. And I feel like the finish on this one.
It's a delicate finish, and he's not used to it.
You have, and it's like it's like a tease. Like I keep waiting
like
for it
to China shop.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Call it what it is. But it's like I keep waiting. Like the finish is nice. It's nice. It's nice, and I'm waiting, and then it's just like, oh, and now it's gone. And it's just like, was it there? Was it not there? I don't know. Like I'm still looking for it.
It's like a good visit with a family member. Like they're there, it's there, it's nice, and then they're just gone. And it's like, that was good. That was good.
But what's there?
Let's do more of that.
What's there is very nice.
Mm-hmm.
But which is why I'm trying to appreciate it for what it is, and that's the 3.5. But I feel like if this could give me a little bit of pepper oomph on the end, like this is easily a 4. But it's not there. So
okay.
3.5.
All right. So for the final breakdown, should you buy this at a bar? Should you just buy it if you got nothing else to buy? Should you hunt it? Without a doubt, I know that Brian and I both agree with what Chuck is going to say, so we will let Chuck have the final statement on what should you do with a Four Roses barrel strength?
Is this where you guys want me to do my NSYNC impersonation? Bye.
Exactly.
Yep. If you ever see a Four Roses barrel strength on the shelf, you buy it.
Yes.
Hands down. End of story. And if you don't want it, talk to one of the 3 of us, because we will buy it off of you for the same price or a little more than what you bought it for.
And the one thing I don't think we've addressed in this review, with part of the reason I really feel like this is a buy in the finish, I did have it at 3.5, is this is 111 proof. Like it doesn't drink at that level. Like it drinks so smooth for 111. Like this could easily taste like 100 proof, a 95 proof. Okay, maybe 100, but it's great. It for that. From that perspective, if you're looking to branch into a little bit of higher proof stuff, you've been stuck in the 90s, the 100s, because the other stuff is just a little bit too potent for you. This is a great avenue into the 110s.
And for everything Brian said, he was completely wrong, because the important reason on why to buy this every time you see it is the fact that there are 10 different recipes. And I can tell you, each recipe tastes completely different from the other recipe. Yeah. Yes. So every time you see one... So it's like Pokemon.
You just got to collect them all.
Yeah, exactly. You do. And they all are amazing.
Something about that, I don't know.
Yeah, I have a level 65 Charizard holographic. Hit me up. $1.5 million. Help fund Bourbon Channel.
I have no idea what you just said.
Brian grew up when lawn darts were still legal.
Yeah, he did. He played with lawn darts.
I wish.
So once again, thanks for watching.
That's how we lost Billy.
Yeah. So here's a pour to Billy. Thanks for watching.
We've been a 4th member of our channel.
See you next time.
Stay neat.
Power of Bourbon.